Hi, I'm Madison Carr, and if you don't know Kristiana Bowling personally, you may know her as the girl with the bedazzled license plate, or even the girl that was new to St. Mary's last year. However, I know Chris as the girl that stands out from the crowd, is smart, strong-willed, and undeniably bold. Chris has a warm and mature personality where if you talk to her for just a few seconds, you will leave the conversation feeling as you have known her forever. Having played volleyball with her for years and being co-captains with her on the varsity volleyball team, I believe I'm fit to say that she is a leader on and off the court. She has such a loving heart, and I know she will share an inspirational message with us today. So please join me in welcoming Kristiana Celine Bowling.
The other week, my mom and I were lying on the couch talking about the parent coffee she had went to that morning. She said she knew what I wrote on the notes that we wrote at Victory Ranch that we wished our parents would understand about the college process. I said, "Mom, those should have been anonymous." And she said, "I know what you said." I said, "Okay, so let me hear it." I've been waiting for this moment my whole life. I looked at her. "You know me too well, Mom." It's true. I have been waiting for this moment my whole life. But looking back on the past 18 years I've spent in Memphis, I'm still waiting. Let's take it back to 8th grade Chris. She was an overachiever and a straight-A student finally excited about going into high school. Her goal was to be president of every club and end up with a full ride to a Division I school in volleyball. As I progressed through my first year, I soon learned that this was not the case. I found myself struggling in subjects I had never thought I would struggle in before. I went in thinking I wanted to be a doctor and came out with a B in chemistry. It's true, chemistry is not my thing. I began to think that maybe physics would be my thing. An engineer doesn't sound that bad. Well, physics is not my thing either. But as I pushed through those difficult high school classes, I found those that I didn't struggle in. I liked Spanish. I was finally in a class where I would be able to talk and wouldn't be punished for it, as long as it wasn't Spanish, of course. I really loved presenting and designing the PowerPoint for school projects. I realized that even though STEM ended up not being my thing, and I probably wasn't going to end up being a doctor, I felt the potential in the things that I had liked to do, perhaps even a career path. But as time moved on, I began to get a lot more nervous. What if I liked nothing? What if I haven't done enough? What if I don't get in because of freshman year chemistry? Well, I probably won't even know that. But what I do know is what I learned through those failures. The end to this path I am still finding. This moment of assurance came to me through a book that I read over the summer, Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey. So I was initially drawn to this book because it had Matthew McConaughey's face on it, and who does not want to read a book with Matthew McConaughey's face on it? But as I got to reading it, I realized there's a reason this book ended up in my hands, and it was not because of his face. McConaughey's philosophy in life connected so well with mine. I always felt this need to know everything without actually knowing why. Many call it stubbornness, I call it strong-willed. A quote from his book says, "I noticed that the realization arrived quickly, the learning took the time, and living life was the hardest part." My motivation came from these realizations. The day I realized that chemistry wasn't for me, I knew it. And in a way, this was my green light. We teenagers are so concerned with trying to run red lights rather than investing in our green lights. McConaughey said he just ended up doing what he wanted to do and learned to live life. Life is the hardest part of the learning process. And without any of my failures, the successes that would have came would have been useless. I switched schools my junior year of a pandemic. I made that decision because I needed to stop trying to run that red light and make it green. This green light was just down the road. I made the best decision for myself. Now, I am standing in front of 66 amazing people that I get to enter this entirely new phase of my life with. That 8th grade Chris still lives inside of me. Granted, she may not have ended up with perfect grades, a full ride to college, but her dreams still persist. If I want you all to remember one thing from this speech, I want it to be this. Continue to invest in your green lights. Pursue things that are truly meaningful to you. What makes you happy? What satisfies your soul? We need to have faith in God and in ourselves that He's leading us on the path that we are meant to be on. Reach for the stars. Now you may be thinking, wow, that's so cliche, but it's true. What can you think of that is the only thing standing between us right here and the stars? A roof. Yes, a roof. A roof is a man-made thing. It's technically the only thing holding you back right now. You can't necessarily control your life, but you can control the roofs you place above you. Thank you.